Good morning. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So glad that you guys could join me today. And it might be cloudy outside, but it's a day that the Lord has given us, and I'm glad about it. So welcome to the Freedom Forum, a place where moms can gain strategies and resources so they can be free to be able to support, encourage their child to win, both academically and in life. And today, I want to talk about the fact that your child is a star. So when you think of your child, is that how you think about them? Or is the first thing that comes to mind, Johnny can't do this, and Johnny, I wish he could do that better? And no, he's not a star because he doesn't sing, or he's not an athlete, or those kinds of things. But being a star is about way more than just those narrow subjects. When I use the term star, I'm talking about S for strengths, T for talents, A for abilities, and R for resources. And everybody has them. Sometimes it's a journey to figure out what those things are. That's why I can confidently say that your child is a star. And my assignment, I believe, is to help you to really embrace, understand, and see that, and be able to then offer opportunities to your child so that you can discover their star power. The truth is, we are all multifaceted, and there are many, many things that we do well. And there are many different areas that we are able to shine in. Before I go on, if you'd like to, I really would appreciate it if you would share the video. If you can think of some moms who would benefit from the strategies that I'm sharing to help them to understand and discover the star in their child, especially the child who you feel is struggling, whether academically, with their behavior, you feel like they're the squeaky wheel. Many times, those are the children whose giftings go uncovered because we spend so much energy and time on what they can't do that we actually never help them discover what they can do and what they can do well. And so when you're thinking about that, possibly you're saying, well, yeah, I do see some strengths. I do see some talents. I do see some abilities. I do recognize we have some resources. My next question is, how do you know which one of those strengths, talents, abilities are things that will be hobbies? And how do you know which ones are going to be strengths that will direct and lead you to their purpose? Because there's a huge difference. Let me give you an example. One of our children was an amazing and fantastic artist. They were able to, anything they saw, they could draw. And it had something to do with how they process information. But they were able to keep it in their brain and then actually draw it out on the paper. We just knew for sure that child was going to be a graphic designer or an artist or something in that area. And so we encouraged that. We got special boxes at the house that had all kinds of art supplies and those kinds of things in it. We allowed them to go to attend different kinds of events where they could expand on that gifting. But in time, we found out that that gift for them was a hobby. And so when it was time to start looking at colleges and what do you want to major in, At first they were thinking graphic artist, and then as time went on, they realized, no, it's not graphic artist. I want to be a teacher, an educator. And what they did was they took that amazing artistic ability and used it in their teaching. Now the clue that teaching was probably the area that they should go in was when they were very young, probably maybe 11, 12. They had the opportunity to teach a child in the neighborhood who had she had some deformity in her face from birth defects, and she was having surgeries every year as they were trying to correct them. And the parents didn't feel confident that sending her to school would be a good thing. They felt like the kids would probably bully her. And they asked this child to kind of do like a preschool kind of thing where their daughter would come over to the house and this child would help them with their alphabet, make sure they could read, knew all their colors. So when she finally was ready to go into, I think it was first grade, she could read, she was ready to go. And this child was the one at 11 or 12 was the one that helped that little one get ready for school. That was the cue. That was the clue right there. And so sometimes when you're watching them, some of the things you're seeing are things that are hobbies. They're going to be things that they'll probably have for the rest of their lives to be a part of their lives, but they may not necessarily be indicators of purpose. So we had another child who loved to play the piano. And I mean, from a little girl, she would ask me, Mommy, show me how, and it would be this hard piece like Romeo and Juliet. And I'm going, oh my gosh, she's going to be so frustrated and she's going to be crying. And, okay. But it was, she insisted, I want to learn this piece. And so, I taught it to her, and it was like one, if you know anything about music, there are like different measures, like songs are broken up into pieces. And each of these pieces have a certain number of notes in them, these little boxes, so to speak. They're called measures. And so I had to teach her that song, one note, one measure at a time. And it took her a while. She might have been 7 or 8, but she learned that song. And I thought, pianist, boom. And so, of course, piano lessons, and, she was singing, and she enjoyed acting, she enjoyed speaking. And so we're thinking, in that area. When she was ready to go to college, this child thought, I want to be an actress. And I was like, oh God, no. And not because she wasn't good at that, but I just felt like there was something more. And this child, good morning. This child ended up, that speaking thing, this was the child who talked 24/7. You ever had a child like that? I mean, they talk, good morning Tom. They talk and talk and talk and talk. And you have to put them, sometimes you have to go sit them somewhere. Sometimes you have to run away because they talk all the time. This is that child. From the moment they woke up, talk, talk, talk. They're always looking towards the future. What are we going to do after we finish this? And what about that? This is what I think about this. And oh my goodness. But do you know that talking was an indicator of purpose? She loved people. She loved to connect. She loved to communicate. And when she grew up, she thought actress. But over time, good morning, Brenda. Over time, she also realized she loved business. She loved strategies and she loved money. And so when we began to put it all together, she realized that she wanted to go into international business. And so she did the acting and the playing the piano is something she still does to this day. Absolutely loves it. But that was not the thing that she was going to move into as her purpose. And so it's kind of complicated trying to figure it out. But you have to at first start by looking, what is it about this child? Now, this child who talked all the time, in my mind, as an adult, as a mom, I'm thinking this is definitely a negative. She's going to be in trouble all the time because she doesn't know, when to be quiet. And so we had to work with her on just managing that. But that talking that just was a natural part of her was actually an indicator that she was a communicator. And that child ended up working for the State Department, and she worked, good morning, she worked in, she actually works for the State Department. She has learned Vietnamese, she knows French, she's traveled the world talking to people. That's her job. She actually helped with visas, and she helps with different kinds of programs overseas in Pakistan and all kinds of places like that. And talking is what she does all day long. The thing that was an irritant to me, the talking, was an indicator actually of a future purpose that God had for her. And so I am so glad I learned that. And so this morning, I want to encourage you. Sometimes the things that irritate you the most are actually indicators of giftings in your children. I had one mom I coached, and her son was constantly breaking up stuff in the house, just breaking it up. And she was just so upset. She's like, I don't get it. I don't understand why he is, breaking the remote or breaking, this stuff that I bought, that I need, that I want. And so we're sitting there talking, and I'm thinking to myself, this sounds like he might be an engineer. He might just have that kind of mind that I just got to know how this works. And so he's not trying to break your stuff up, Mom. He's just trying to figure it out. He's curious about how things work together. And so I gave Mom an assignment. I said, listen, go to the thrift store and purchase different things. Let him look at the different gadgets and things. Let him pick out things that he's interested in, that he'd like to know how they work. Bring them home and allow him to take them apart and reverse engineer them and figure out how to put them back together again. I think if you can give him things that he can break up and put back together, he'll stop breaking up your stuff. And sure enough, this mom did exactly that. This child was probably only about 5 or 6. That's right, Tong, engineering training. He was probably 5 or 6 when this happened. And Mom was able to direct that energy that was negative at the time into something positive. And this young man, today is actually taking college classes. Good morning, Faith. He's taking college classes, and he is in 10th grade. And he's taken all of his classes at our university here in our neighborhood, Bowie University. And his mom frequently says to me, Anita, you penned that thing, from the beginning. And it really helped us to be able to direct him in the right direction. So he's excellent at math. I think he tested in above college, the first college math class in 10th grade. But that's how he was bent. And it showed up when he was breaking stuff up. So sometimes those things that seem irritating, that seem bothersome, pay a little more attention. They may be indicators of that child's future purpose. So your child is absolutely a star. And when I use the word star, I'm talking about they have strengths, they have talents, they have abilities, and you as a family have special, unique resources like none other. So today, When that child starts doing that irritating thing they always do, step back just a minute and see them through different eyes. Perhaps they're showing you their future. All right, my name is Anita Gibson. I'm a coach, speaker, educational strategist, and the author of the book Starfinder. Thank you for the hearts. Appreciate it. I'm offering a class on October 24th called Discover the Star Power in Your Child. If you want to know how to really figure out how amazing your child is, it's a 5-week class, and the address is bit.ly/discover the star power. All one word. bit.ly/discover the star power. Sign up today. All right, guys, so that class is October 24th. It's in about 2 weeks. And I would love to give you the strategy so that you can be very clear about strategies, direction, focus to find out the star power in your child. Have a fantastic day. And remember, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Bye. Love you.